Hey everyone! The other day I was watching an episode of Rhett and Link's Good Mythical Morning where they made a few interesting fast food style combo recipes. And I want to try one of them out today. It's called the Big Mac and Cheese. And I've decided I'm going to try making the Big Mac part of that from scratch. I'm Boater, let's cook something.
You can't go wrong with the Big Mac. That's my favorite. But you can improve on the Big Mac. That's my stance. I'm gonna call this the Big Mac and Cheese.
I do like this idea. One bite of mac and cheese, one bite of Big Mac? Is that how it works?
No. I debated long and hard where the mac and cheese should go, and I determined that it should go here, and then also over there. So I'm gonna put some mac and cheese.
Do you have to talk like that when you make it?
Yes, you do. No, I don't. I don't know why I did that.
Please don't.
Here.
I'm not gonna want to eat it.
This is how people who cook talk.
Okay, so the most important part of the Big Mac is the special sauce. That is a little more complicated than just Thousand Island dressing, but if you want to be lazy, you can certainly go ahead and do that. I'm going to try making it from scratch, and this is something that you actually make one night and let it sit for at least a couple hours, preferably overnight. So I'm going to make my sauce today and then make the rest of the meal tomorrow. I already ate today. So alright, cool. Time to prepare for tomorrow's dinner. Ingredient board, what do we need for the special sauce for the Big Mac?
1/2 cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of French dressing, 4 teaspoons of pickled relish.
Some recipes that I found recommend a mixture of sweet and dill. I'm using just sweet. The recipe that I found for the sauce is from topsecretrecipes.com. There are certainly many different ones that you can use. This one appealed to me the most and looked a blend of the simplest and yet one that would still have some effort put into it. You're certainly more than welcome to find your own for the sauce itself.
1 tablespoon of minced white onion, 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of sugar. Stop that. 1/8 teaspoon of salt.
Our first step is to get that minced onion. You are certainly more than welcome to buy it in store pre-minced, but I bought a white onion. I cut probably about a quarter of it out. Should be enough. Should be more than enough, really. And then saving the rest for later. Maybe extra topping on the burger if we really want. The rest of it I am throwing into a Ninja chopper mincer that we got like over a year ago and still haven't used. So just... And then being careful with the blades. Just take your tablespoon and scoop out what you need and put that into our vessel that we will be working with. Then go ahead and add everything else. Actually, a quarter of the onion was about 2 tablespoons, so I'm gonna double what we're making. Alright, cool. Where's everything else? And whoop. Okay, carefully. And of course we're doubling our recipe, so a couple more. Making the 4 tablespoons of French dressing. And all of a sudden that is starting to look pretty darn full. Alright, cool. Next! Oh. 1, 2, 8. A couple teaspoons. And then from there, we move on to, don't tell me, the sugar. I should dry that. Thinking we should probably be mixing as we go, and I'm totally not doing that, so I'm just going to have to mix it up a little more when it's, well, time to mix it up. Last is the salt, of which we only need normally 1/8 of a teaspoon, so we'll go 1/4. That's this little guy right here. Alright, cool. Now, of course, actual special sauce has like more preservatives and stuff in it, but we're not going to do that because we're making it fresh. That looks kind of gross. Stir this very well. I'm seeing a lot of chunkiness in the mayonnaise, and it's kind of throwing me off the whole let's make fast food at home game. But whatever, I'm committed to this. Let's make it. Stir it up really, really well. Try to get that nice and smooth looking. Now, I had a few doubts because of, you know, how the mayonnaise was looking and everything, but that is spot on. What we're going to do now is cap it and put it in the fridge to kind of let a lot of the flavors blend together. That's going to be nice and safe up there until we come back tomorrow. Again, it should be at least a couple hours. We're doing overnight, taking it out tomorrow. We made extra, so that's going to be for our fries. You should theoretically be stirring it a couple times while it's chilling. I am probably not going to be able to do that since I will be either sleeping or at work, but if I get the chance, I will. Otherwise, everything's going to kind of mesh together there. I'll make sure to stir it when I take it out. But for now, our work is done here for tonight. And we're back. I did stir up the sauce a little bit this morning, so we are ready to go tonight. Ingredient board, tell us what we need for the rest of everything. We have our special sauce. What else do we need for Big Mac and cheese?
You mean you don't know? That's rather pathetic.
I didn't grow up with the jingle. What do we need?
To all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickled onions on a sesame seed bun. Also, macaroni and cheese.
Alright, so here we go with the classic Big Mac here. Now there are a couple things that we're going to be changing just because of the sauce recipe that we used. Typically, the onions on a Big Mac are dehydrated onions. We already put onions into our sauce itself, so we're not going to be adding onions. I will tell you when you would, though, if you were going to. In pickles, there's pickle relish in the sauce itself. However, we will be using pickles as well because I like pickles and I don't mind more. And then mac and cheese, we are just going to be using Kraft macaroni and cheese, kind of for that cheap fast food aesthetic. But if you want to get maybe creamier macaroni and cheese, you can do that. If you want to use Velveeta shells and cheese, if you can make homemade macaroni and cheese, that would be really cool too. Alright, let's start putting this together. First step is add your pasta to the water. We are going to get the pasta going first. Obviously, you keep stirring this, whatever. I'm not going to talk you through making mac and cheese, just kind of saying when you should be doing what. The macaroni is fine to sit for a while while we work on everything else, so if it's done first, that's fine. Put a lid on it, come back. Next, we're going to throw some fries in. Use whatever fries or side or whatever you want. I got shoestrings because they look like fast food fries, even if they don't quite taste the same. If you want to make fries that do taste the same, I found a really neat tutorial online that is way more complicated than I will ever do. I will link that in the description below. Probably when you're done with everything else, they'll be ready. Let's get the hamburgers themselves ready. Now, I'm somewhat tempted to season the meat, salt, pepper, anything else. However, it strictly calls for all beef in the patties. So that lets me be nice and lazy. We've got like roughly a pound here, a little bit more, and we're going to be making 2 burgers, so that means 4 patties. Obviously your patties are going to have a lot more beef in them than the actual Big Mac ones because they use tiny little things, and hey, you've got a pound of meat here split between 2 people, so, you know, go for it, dude. Alright, good enough. Wash your hands, check your pasta. That's done. Getting the grill warmed up, because we'll be using that in a sec. One thing that we need is shredded lettuce, so I'm just going to take a couple leaves, drop it in here. Just going to take a little bit of this. That looks nice and green. That'll do. Now, of course, you don't have to do the shredded lettuce. You can just set it on top. I'm being as faithful as I can with the tools I have. And I got this tool last year for Christmas and hadn't used it, so it's the perfect opportunity. And done. Yeah, that looks good. That sauce is ready. I'm just gonna drop the pasta in here, and then, whoop, I only made a little of a mess. You can't see it, but trust me, I only made a little bit of a mess. But I'll lie to you. I don't like that answer. Mix that up, turn the heat off, cover it, let it sit. Meanwhile, our grill's just about ready, so I'm gonna drop the patties over on here. And your meat is now cooking. That is going. Let's get everything else ready so that as soon as the meat is done, we can just get to preparing. Okay, here are our sesame seed buns. Remember that we've got a double-decker sandwich here, so you can either cut this in half and then cut another one in half, thereby wasting the second one, or you can cut this into 3 parts. That's what I'm going to do right now. Now, ideally, these would also be toasted. However, as soon as those patties come off, I want to start assembling this. I want to start eating it. And these are nice fresh buns that I don't feel really need toasting. However, if you want to, you are certainly welcome to do so yourself. Take them like this, take it, separate it so you've got the bottom, and then the middle and the crown are upside down over here. This will be just a second. Go ahead and get everything lined up so you can get this all done in order. I've got my pickles, I've got my lettuce, nice and shredded. I've got our sauce from last night right here. Got the knife pointing outward for some reason. That was smart. And got my patties. Let's say those are ready. I'll take the 2 better done ones and then leave the other 2 there for stuff. Got that, and then we've got our mac and cheese. Which, with this here, you totally can't see me assembling. So, oh, you know what? I got this. This way I don't have to move the camera to cut to the close-up. Say cheese! Okay. And all the other ingredients. Okay, cool. So that's there. So, first, we've got our buns here. We've got the bottom and the middle. First thing we do is take a little dab of our special sauce onto each. Just a teaspoon or so. By the way, tasting this special sauce, I want to say that maybe there's a little bit too much mayonnaise in here. This is, of course, a to-taste kind of thing. Next time I make it, I'll probably reduce it to 3/4 a cup for the double batch, 3/8 a cup of mayonnaise for the single batch. So now I've got the sauce down here. If you were going to do your dehydrated onions, this is where they would go. They would stick right to the sauce and keep it all nice and together. After that, we add our lettuce. Try not to make too much of a mess, but you know, make no promises. Now we add the zip patties. 1, 2. Now we add a slice of cheese to the bottom patty and pickles to the top patty. Now typically at McDonald's they're going to give you 2 pickles. I'm going to do 3 or 4 to cover this up. Now lightly touching, just touching each other just a little bit. And in the video I saw on assembling a Big Mac, they referred to this as dating, not mating. I'm serious. Click the pickles, check out the video. It's kind of funny and informative, just so you can remember how to do this on your own. So we've got what we need for the Big Mac, but we're not just making the Big Mac, we're making the Big Mac and cheese. So now go ahead and add your macaroni and cheese on top of each of these stacks. I totally made a little bit of a mess there. Whatever. I made a little bit more of a mess. That one wasn't so much whatever, but okay. Okay, yeah. That's obviously how that's supposed to go. And now, take your middle stack, lift it up over onto that stack, and then top it. Give it a good smush so that everything kind of fits, and you gotta fit this in your mouth somehow. But there we go. You can see it there. Now let's bring it over here. We've got our Big Mac and cheese. Let's get some fries on this and dig in. Okay, so once again, the sauce passes muster. And obviously, you've got fries and macaroni and cheese for a side. So, you've got quite a lot. So let's see how this Big Mac and cheese stands up. Here we go. This is actually my first time taking a bite of one of these. So thank you again to Rhett and Link. And if I die, there's video proof that I probably did something wrong. No, this should be good. Here we go. Alright, I'm glad we had this talk. That's good. It tastes more like a Big Mac than pretty much anything I've made before. It doesn't taste exactly like a Big Mac plus mac and cheese because obviously it's homemade, but it definitely tastes like, well, a Big Mac. You can definitely taste it in there, as well as the mac and cheese. And it goes together really great. This is something I definitely recommend whether you go out and get a Big Mac on your own, or if you decide to make it on your own like we did today. The Big Mac and cheese is definitely a winner. If you'd like to see more recipes, go ahead and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Rhett and Link are great. Good Mythical Morning is a really fun show to watch that airs every weekday, so subscribe to their channel as well. And for my part, I will see you all next week.